setting this up. How are we all doing? Right, so basically I am doing this today for those believers. So the kids aren't here, they're at school, so I just wanted to go through a few things. Now it's kind of really strange, but for some reason or other we have, even though we've got people who are Catholics who are supposed to be highly, strongly believers in life after death, heaven and hell, and he's supposed to be a believer of the afterlife and ghosts and spirits and devils and demons, and I don't know why, but a lot of you don't seem to be believers, even though when you're at a Catholic school. I am actually a Christian, okay, but I've always been a strong believer, okay. But for some reason like this, and you lot don't seem to, some of you don't seem to be. I'm gonna find out how many of you are truly and utterly strong believers, okay. What I want from you lot basically is, for those believers, I would really like it if you give a massive big thumbs up. If you are not a believer, okay, then leave a message down below to say, not a believer, I think it's a lot of rubbish and I don't believe a word you say, or whichever like that. If you are a believer and you believe in what I'm about to tell you, then maybe you've had something more than me. Do you watch Oh My Sardi? Do you watch Oh My Gosh? Do you watch Paranormal Investigators with Patsy or Paddy? Anyway, basically, if you are a believer, like I said, do a massive big thumbs up, and I want to see how many of you. Now, if I only get 2 thumbs up, that means all you over 3,000 of you that are subscribed to me, that basically you're telling me out of all you lot, there's not one believer, okay? So I need to get as many as I can. So if you see this and you say, oh yeah, I'm a believer, I'll press that. If you do not press the like button, the thumbs up like button, then you are obviously not a believer. I don't want you just watching this, viewing this, and expecting me to think to myself, okay then, if you are a believer and you haven't pressed that like button, then I'm going to be thinking to myself, you're not a believer. So you have got a choice in that, okay? Anyway, so basically what has been going on in this house is we downloaded, I downloaded, I don't let my kids use it. My kids don't even know I've got it. Oh My Gosh, said to us, well, everybody, to download this particular app on the phone, okay? And it's not a free app, unfortunately. I think it's something like $7.99 or something like that. So when I could do it, I did do it. And I can't remember what it is called at the moment, but what I'll do is I'll put it down on here so that you can actually see what it is, okay? So what I did is I tried it, and basically I asked a couple of questions, and it came out with, and I asked it, how many spirits are in this house? And it answered 4, okay? Then I asked it, who are these spirits? Okay? Then it came out with family, okay? Then I said, okay, so it's a family. I said, so is there a little girl in this house? Answered yes. Then I asked it, is there a little boy in this house? It answered yes. Then I asked it, is the woman, as in the mother, is she in this house? And it answered yes. Now, this is where it gets a little bit more confusing, because the father did not die in this house. The father died actually at war in the 20th century, something like that, when when there was the war on. Now we've only had World War One and Two, okay, so I don't know which one. I'm going to say that he probably died in the First World War, okay, back then. Apparently the woman is around about in her 30s, exactly the same as the father. Now the father is a little bit older, so the father is actually is more toward he's actually in his late 30s. If you don't know what I mean by late, as soon as you hit 25, any time after your age of 25 is your late. If it is before 25, it's your early. Okay, so the woman was in her early 30s and the man was in his late 30s. Okay, and then the children, it wasn't 100% too sure how old the kids actually were. So it came out with it that basically the kids were ages basically between the age of 6 and 9. Now I don't know which one or who it actually was or anything like that, but all I know is this one, okay? And I don't want anybody, like saying, oh, well, this happened. I'm telling you guys because the fact is my kids ain't here, they're at school, so they don't know about anything like this at all. I mean, I basically keep them completely nutsly. I completely keep them in the dark. I mean, they know things happen around the house, but my stepdad is a non-believer. He comes out with all sorts of excuses. It's the wind. It's oh, kids may be messing about opening up the doors. He has got an excuse for every single thing. Now, if you are one of those people who have an excuse for every single thing that you think the reason why something is happening, then you obviously are not a believer, okay? Now, I have spoken to a friend of mine yesterday, and basically what she's been saying is, if you take a video or you take a picture, and sometimes if you take a picture, you can see something. Like you might see something at the side, or you might see something over the head, or you might see something in the corner, okay? Sometimes even your camera might go blurry. Really, really seriously blurry. Sometimes you might see where everything is perfectly fine in the room, and then in like one tiny little part of the room, it might be all fizzy, like black and white on your TV when you've got nothing on your TV and it goes all black and white and fuzzy, and that it could be a little bit like that. Or like when you're taking a picture, when you're taking a video, you can see something, but when you're taking a picture, and that there's always something there to see. Maybe not, but in my case, there more or less always is, right? So, the fact is, and that is, now, like I said, we haven't said anything to the kids at all. I've just completely not left them to it because I am an absolute 100% a believer in the ghosts and spirits and the afterlife, because I'm not being funny, okay? But your body's got to go somewhere. Okay, and you've got to have, obviously, there's always something going on. So my mum was here when she was here. She hasn't been here over Christmas. She hasn't been here over New Year's because she was really seriously sick. I had the rocking chair. Basically. I had it there with that black stool is. Yeah. My mum was sat there, and at the side of it, there with the fridges, with that white wall is there. Basically, my mum, she felt a freezing cold bit there. Everywhere else around her was really, really nice and warm, but right there, it was so cold where she was. Okay, and then right, so my mum's had that, but my mum has also had it, okay, where she's also there as well, in that door there as well, okay. My mum has also seen is a black figure standing there, just a tallish figure, about 6 foot. About well, my ex was 6'3", so my mum said she's going to say either 6'7" or 6'5" to 7. Okay, so quite tall, but not quite where obviously, you know, where the door actually ends. But it was standing there, but she had like a black curtain. She didn't see its face, but she said she was terrified to look at it. But she's never ever said anything to the kids. She said it to me. And she said, "Do you know what, Steph?" She goes, "I'll be honest with you." She said, "I was never a believer." She said, "I was never ever a believer." She said, "But you know what?" She said, "I know this is saying, seeing is believing, feeling is believing." My mum's seen it, she's now a believer. Okay? We have heard things drop, and yet we've gone to have a look and there's nothing fallen. Okay? So you lot might think this is an excuse, blah blah blah. But I've told another person as well, and she's told me a few things. Our understairs, okay? Our understairs there. See that door there? That one right there? Okay? That is the understairs. Okay? I have got the chair against that door because we're trying out an experiment, basically. Okay? The experiment is if they, depending on how strong they are, what we're doing is we're leaving that there, so if anything happens, like if it rattles or if the chair gets moved out of the way or flown out of the way or anything like that, we'll know about it. Now, so far, nothing has actually happened, but it's not meaning there isn't going to happen, because yesterday I did a video, okay, right near that door, and my camera seriously kept going blurry all the time, and the woman just said to me, "It's because there's something there." It is basically, it was draining my battery, and my camera kept going more blurry. Okay, now when I have that, they don't like it. Again, for you non-believers, please go away. For you believers, obviously, please give it, like I said, give a massive big thumbs up if you are a believer. But underneath that stairs, they don't like that door shut. It's like they feel like they're being blocked in or something. Okay, and sometimes you hear it rattle, and they actually do make it sound like things have actually fallen. And believe it or not, even if things, now if something, say that's your drawer there, or you say that's your unit there, or your shelf in there, right? So the shelves underneath there, and then say you've got a box that's like, yeah, that is on there, and it's no way in heck that can fall off. Yeah, all of a sudden, because that door's shut, I don't know how, but it'll just go boom. Okay? Alright? Like I said, for you believers, you'll know that is true, and that is basically saying either I need out, open this door, I'm trying to get your attention, stuff like that. We have heard footsteps, men's footsteps going upstairs at night time. Now the kids obviously shout at me, so I'm getting my heart absolutely beating because I can hear this footstep and it's scaring the absolute crap out of me and that. But I'm just like turning on all the lights, and the kids said there's somebody coming up the stairs, so I double check, and I was like, "Oh, you're tired, or oh, you probably had a bad dream or something or another like that." It's like, "Oh, for goodness sake, forget about it," and that. It's an old house, you know, we're all going to sleep, all these noises are all coming, or, you know, awake and stuff like that. And during the day, obviously, you know, you don't really hear a lot, but at night time you do. But it literally does. Even my mum's heard it, my stepdad's heard it, and my stepdad is not a believer. He is definitely not a believer, but yeah, he's heard it and he just totally ignores it. Okay. And I've taken a picture where I've had a girl standing next to me. And that Halloween, when we've had stuff up, we do, even though there's no fire on, there's no windows up, and there's no air in here, anything like that, you can actually see it all moving. And that I have had knocking at the door. No, it's nobody coming towards the door or anything like that. I'm talking about not my main door, my vestibule door, which I can't even say properly. or anything like that. If, by the way, I just want to tell you, if you do happen to see anything, you know, like say figures or anything like that on the sides or in the kitchen, any movement, if you see anything at all that I cannot see, because obviously, I mean, it is very, very cold today, so obviously I'm really, really seriously cold at the moment and that, but otherwise, yeah, I mean, everywhere feels quite chilly at the moment and that, because obviously there's no heating on, okay? But like I said, as Mossage and oh my gosh and all the other people from the investigations always say, if there is something that I do not see or I've missed out, obviously then please do comment and that. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and do a bit more, but I will be honest and that night times are more scarier for me, okay? Because at night time now, for the last 4 nights in a row, okay, I've actually, we've got all the doors shut, the kids are all in bed, their doors are shut and that, but what I haven't told the kids, which I've told my mum and I've told a friend as well, okay, is at night time, my bedroom is at top of here, of this living room here, okay? On this settee, I hear a man and a woman talking, having a right good old conversation, and if I shut those 2 doors, it doesn't like it. It doesn't like it because at night time, it's theirs. They had this house before we did, okay? But they don't like it when we shut those doors, okay? Because you can hear the doors opening and shutting. You can actually hear them walking because there's no carpet in the back in the kitchen, okay? So you can hear them go into the kitchen. We've got one cupboard. We've got one cupboard in this kitchen, which is this one here, and we do hear, I hear that at night time, okay? I hear that at night time, and obviously I do hear things moving, okay? And like I said, I don't know how many of you actually believe in this, but you know when you get that gut feeling, or you get that feeling that there is something there, or you get that feeling that you feel like somebody's watching you, something like that, and you got this really strong vibe, really strong feeling inside of you, thinking, I don't know. You can be in a really nice part of, say, a warm part, and all of a sudden you can be walking, say like I'm walking through here and it's lovely and warm. I can get to the middle of the room, and only one part of the room can be freezing. So I'll try and give you an idea of what I'm talking about. Right, so I can be basically, every part of this will all be warm, okay? Then I'll be walking through like this. All of a sudden I get to here and it can get freezing. And I mean so cold, I'm going, ugh. And then I carry on walking and I'm warm again. So it's almost like you're walking over something, okay? Now, obviously, I don't want to be tempting anything or doing anything, to try and disturb these and that. But yeah, that's the type of things. Now there are a lot of things that go on. So like I said, if you are a believer, give a massive big thumbs up, because you cannot tell me out of 3,667 of you that have subscribed, you're telling me that not one of you are a non-believer. I'll be very, very shocked. I should now expect at least more or less quite a bit of you. I should expect at least a good 3,000 of you are believers. Okay, now there is a lot more to go through, but I'll do it stage by stage, because I'm not being funny, but I have to live here and this is just the way it is. So obviously do what you can on that. So like I said, if you're not believers, put a comment down below to say, I'm not a believer, I'm sorry, okay? If you are a believer, put a big thumbs up for me, okay? And that's only if you're a believer, okay? If you think what I'm saying is a lot of cock and rubbish, then that's fine. I totally understand. But if you are a believer, put a nice big thumbs up. Anyway, so there you go. Thank you very much for coming and watching. And let me see how many of you put the thumbs up on this one. If I only get one or two, that means every single one of you are non-believers. So let's just see, out of 3,000 of you that end up watching this, okay, and a lot more, let's see how many of you are believers, okay? Let's just see.